All right. Hello, everyone. I'm Tiffany from Bubbles and Bloom Beauty Bar, and welcome to our show, Beauty and Confidence In, where you can step into your power and radiate your own unique beauty from the inside out. Today, we have Stepahnie Theard. How are you, Steph?
I am doing so great. How are you?
I'm
Hi,
doing
everybody.
Hi. So I'm doing very well. Thank you very much. I asked Steph to come on today. She is a woman who wears many hats. She is a mompreneur, she is a realtor, and she is an empowerment coach, which I think she has very valuable information for us on how we can step into our to the most confident version of ourselves. So, Steph, our audience that does not know you yet, can you tell us a little bit about yourself and what you do?
Absolutely. Thank you, first of all, for having me. I'm very excited.
Yay.
So, again, my name is Stepahnie Theard. Steph works. I love
Oh
Steph.
yes, I know. I'm sorry. We did talk about this because
No, I
you're
love it.
okay with Steph and I don't like Tiff. So
Okay, that's right. That's
yeah,
right.
yeah, yeah. So
Yes,
she,
I love
so
Steph.
Stephanie can be Steph, but Tiffany is Tiffany.
You got it. If I ever call you Tiff, please tell me not. Yes.
No, it's okay. I don't
Yeah.
like Tiff because Tiff means small quarrel or argument. Like I
Oh,
got into
that's
a
right. You
tiff
told
with
me
my
that. Okay.
or sister or whatever. So
You
I feel like it's a negative word and I don't want to be
got
associated.
it. You got it.
Yeah, that's my explanation of why. Yeah.
Well, it's a good one.
Yeah, so it's
Okay,
Tiffany,
great.
or they call me Tiffany or T. So
Oh, okay. I like
yeah.
to eat
I'm
it.
sorry, Steph. I didn't mean to cut into you,
No, that's great. I
but yes,
love it.
please tell us who you are and what you do.
You got it. You got it. So again, my name is Steph. I created Empower You Coaching, and specifically, I work with women to take back their own power
Mm.
and to start building the life that they deserve on their own terms.
Mhm.
So it's very personal and very powerful for me. My coaching has two main areas. The first one is about empowerment, and
Mhm.
that's where I work with my clients to reignite the power that's already within them, because we all have it. It just might be a little dormant for a while.
Mhm.
And the second piece is the accountability, and that's where I
Mhm.
keep my clients focused and consistent with who they are becoming.
I love both of that. I love the word reignite because you're right, we all have that. And then I love that you keep
Yeah.
them accountable. So how did you get into your line of work?
That was a great question for me because I've really had to do some inner digging to figure out how did I land here, you know?
Mhm.
And it all really comes from, I think, my childhood. I've been a seeker my entire life.
Mhm.
And I come from a big family. I'm the youngest of four.
Mhm.
And as a young little girl, I coined this phrase that I still use today.
Mhm.
And it still rings true today for me, is that there were all these people around me, and yet no one was there.
Mhm.
So it was a very, it was difficult. Everyone had a lot of things going on.
Mhm.
So as it pertains, so I feel like the work found me, to be honest.
Mhm.
And how I try and give every single time is that I equate it to this. I am giving, I give to others, to my clients, what I lacked receiving.
Mhm.
And that is where the personal and powerful piece comes in for me personally.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah, I feel like that we as women do that too. We give what we lacked. But I appreciate how you created a career for yourself to empower other people with your gifts. So thank you.
Oh my gosh, thank you. And it's been a journey, and I'm still on the same journey
Mhm.
and learning every single day. And I'm so thankful to be able to do that.
Mhm.
And if I can touch someone's life in a positive, empowering way,
Mhm.
then drop the mic. I'm good.
Right. So how do
Yeah.
you portray inner beauty and confidence to your clients?
Um, and I love this question as well, because I really believe that this question is probably better geared for my clients to answer. So
Okay.
I will do the best that I can.
Okay.
So I portray confidence in my spirit and my raw grit. As it pertains to inner beauty, the only word that comes to mind is authenticity. Now, if I were to put all this together for you, it's more of like this. No matter what, no matter what my day is, no matter how I'm feeling, no matter what's going on, I show up every day with those three things. I show up with my spirit. And that, by that, I mean this joy that I was born with. I would wake up, jump out of bed happy. I go to bed happy. It's just weird. I just have this joy that oozes out of me. So that's my
good.
spirit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Not everyone has that.
No. And that's why I'm like, let me give it away. Let me spread it, you know, and when people are sad, it makes me sad. So I definitely bring that kind of joyous spirit every day. And I bring this raw grit. And what I mean by that is I've had a lot of experience with practice, with this learning that I have this grit. And I've had a lot of things happen like most of us have, right? Life has hit us hard sometimes. And I've learned that I have this tenacity to where, yeah, I'm going to slip. Yeah, I'm going to fold, but I always get back up. I don't have anyone. I've never really had people to lean on. To like, come on, Steph, get back up. Come on, Steph, go do this. So I've had to learn, and it's taken me probably a lot longer because of that. But I've had to learn to get back up. Don't give up. Keep going. And there's ways to do that. And then authenticity, I think, is pretty self-explanatory, but it's hard to do. It's hard to realize, like, and accept who you are and bring that person every single day. So I really try and just be who I am and be completely great with that.
Be your own best friend.
You know, and that's really it. You know, I told my daughter, she's now 25, but when she was going away to college, I said and she did 2 years at a junior college, and then she went to a 4-year. And I said, it's very important to live by yourself. I think especially, I mean, I'm a female, so I can speak as a female, but I think it's really important for a woman to be alone, be okay with who you are in the tough times, sad times, get to know yourself because you're all you've got.
Yes. True. So true.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I can tell you've been through a lot, because we only learn that when we go through things, you know?
Yeah. And I applaud those that don't have a whole lot of adversity in their lives. That's great. I'm just the opposite. And I'm learning through those adverse times. And I think those are the wins, honestly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So with that, like, what experiences do you want to create for your clients, and what do you want your clients to walk away with after interacting with you?
There's 2 foundation pieces that are must-haves for me to create the experience that I want for my clients. And that is support and non-judgment. So once we build that, and once my client knows, wow, I can say anything, I can be myself, there is no judgment, and there is 100% support from me, then from there, I can build on, if I bring as much value as I can, if my client knows that that I have put their interests first, and that I am present with them, then, and if my client can, feel that, then I have won with the experience. Like, that's exactly what I want them to feel. And then what I want my clients to walk away with isn't necessarily that it was like they enjoyed the whole experience, because sometimes it gets hard. But then I want them to walk away with knowing that it worked.
That's great. So no judgment zone. I love that you don't judge people, because we all go through different things, and things come up here and there, but we still are the same person that we are. You just don't judge, what they're going through at the time.
Don't judge it. Yeah. And I've always been that way, just not judging. And a lot of people do that. And I think a lot of people do that without even really realizing it.
Exactly, yeah.
With their own insecurities or their own stuff that they have got going on. So, I tread lightly there, but I just really being supportive. Woman to woman. It's a good thing.
Yes, it is. Woman to woman. Thank you. So what's your definition of empowerment?
Oh, this is a good one. So this one is a roundabout kind of explanation for me, but my definition of empowerment probably starts with, we can't be empowered every minute of every day. It's impossible. We have feelings, we have emotions, our day takes different twists and turns. So we obviously can't be this empowered person every single second. I believe empowerment comes out of the tough times.
Mm-hmm.
So I see empowerment as this. If I can look back at a tough time I had, and if I can look at it and say, wow, I was in control of my own emotions.
Mm-hmm.
I was in control of my own thoughts. I knew exactly how I felt, and it was mine to feel. I didn't rely on anybody else to, deal with my emotions. I took responsibility for me, because that's all we can do is take responsibility for ourselves.
Mm-hmm.
If I can look back on a situation and say, wow, I just showed up the best way I've ever shown up before, that to me is empowering.
Mm-hmm.
That's empowerment.
Mm-hmm.
And then you can just grow from there. And each time you get better and better and better, and then you feel pretty empowered.
Yes, yes, awesome.
Yeah.
What can you say is the most fulfilling part of what you do?
Oh, God, there's so many pieces. But the most fulfilling part is probably the beginning. It's that connection with another,
Mm-hmm.
especially with this coronavirus and pandemic that we're all going through
Mm-hmm.
or have been through. Hopefully, it's in the past soon. But it's been a reminder of how human connection is so important, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so I really feel that connecting. Everyone has a story. Everyone can write a book about their experiences. And that's my joy right there. Like, I really enjoy when people share their stories with me. It's like a sacred space.
Mm-hmm.
Like, for example, if I can tell a quick little
Yes, please. I would love to hear.
story.
Yes, please.
So a few years ago, I have two kids.
Okay.
My daughter's 25 and my son's now 20. So a few years ago, we went to Hawaii. Mm-hmm. And it's around lunchtime, busy. And we were going to this restaurant to have lunch. Mm-hmm. And around this restaurant, there are some shops, a bunch of shops you can kind of look in. So we go to the hostess, and she's like, 10 minutes. So we thought, okay, great. We'll go pop into the shops. And there were hustle and bustle of people. Anyway, so I'm in this shop. My kids were in it too, but they were looking at other things. And I'm at this counter looking at this jewelry and such. And the woman that works there, mind you, it's busy in there. She comes right up to me and says, hi, can I help you? And as I look up to greet her and say hello, she starts crying. Mm-hmm. I mean, just crying. Mm-hmm. And so at that moment, everything else I didn't see anything else. I just was focused on the woman in pain, right?
Wow.
So she proceeds to tell me her story. Mm-hmm. And her mom had died the day before. Yeah. But she had to go to work.
Yeah.
And she was in so much pain. Mm-hmm. And yet she trusted me with this moment.
I know.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
So I didn't even know how much time went by, right. But we finished our conversation and hugged each other, and we can hug back then. And so because of no coronavirus then. But, so I went to the restaurant, found my kids, because they're used to this.
Okay.
This happens a lot to me. So they were already eating. So I find
them already eating. So they ordered and everything.
I was there for a bit. So and so I walk up to them, and they're laughing, not laughing, but like just shaking their head, like, every time, Mom, every time. And like if my daughter were here, she could tell you probably 10 more stories that I just can't think of, but it happens to me a lot. And I don't know why, but I'm honored to be in that space. And even with my clients, I am honored to hear their story, and it's a sacred space for me. I take it very seriously. So I think the connection is the most fulfilling.
Yeah. Oh, wow. That's awesome. What a great story. Yeah. And I love that you have many more. I feel like you can connect with people without even like speaking with them. So
yeah, it's I don't know, but yeah, my kids just shake their head like, here we go. Time.
That's awesome. They're just jealous that people want to.
That's right. That's right. Eat your food. That's right.
How funny. Okay, so when you're working with your clients and as women, what can you tell them? Like, how do you push past your own fear and self-doubt when that gets into your head? How do you push past that and step into your power?
Love this question too. In my experience, I have found that like hiding from or pushing past something just doesn't work.
Mhm.
We're human beings, and we have to learn to experience and feel everything. The
Mhm.
good, the bad, the ugly, the sorrow, the sadness. Because we can feel happiness, no problem, but we tend to kind of want to push away. It's
Mhm.
kind of like that reference to the rug. Everything's brushed under the rug. And as a kid, everything was brushed under the rug.
Mm.
And that was I coined a lot of phrases, I realized, just to kind of get through some things.
Mhm.
And it's just, so many things had happened, disturbing things growing up, and yet no one talked about them.
Mm.
And so I just had this vision in my head, my mom every night just sweeping in under the rug everything that was done that happened that day. And I'm opposite. I'm like, wait, but that just happened.
Yeah.
We're not, no one talks about it.
Right.
It never happened then, Steph. Shh.
Mm.
So and again, I'm the opposite of that. So I just want, it's just very important to not do that. It doesn't work, because what happens is, then let's say, okay, I'm going through a divorce.
Mhm.
All these feelings, if you didn't deal with a lot of stuff, it waits for you.
Mm.
And it kind of haunts you. Like, for example, the father of my children, we had gotten divorced, and he ended up passing away
Oh, I'm sorry.
very young. He was 48.
Wow.
And my kids were very young.
Mm.
And my daughter, she was in high school. And so a really tough age.
Yes, very hard.
Yeah. And it was just, watching her spiral was just heartbreaking. And she wanted me to put her on something, because that's the fix these days, right? Go to the doctor, get some meds, numb.
Mhm.
And I looked at her and I said, I'm sorry, babe. And she's sobbing, crying, and I'm crying. And I said, you've got to feel this, because if you don't deal with it, it will stay with you
Wow, yeah.
forever. And it was about 6 months later, and she one day came out of her room and she said, Mom, you're right. And I said, oh my gosh, tell me, what did I say? What did I do
Right,
that's
yeah.
right, right?
Uh-huh.
She said, yeah. And she said, you told me
Uh-huh.
that I needed to get through it to get to the other side.
Yeah.
And I'm so glad you said that.
Mm.
So
That's so valuable that you taught her that lesson so young. She's always going to remember that too.
always will. Yeah. And my kids, they've been through a lot, and we're each other's people,
Mm-hmm.
and we can rely on each other. And that to me is just, it's everything.
Mm-hmm.
And be you and face what we've got. Let's look at it.
Mm-hmm.
Let's face it.
Yes. Truly so important not to use anything as like a scapegoat to like,
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And we all do it. I mean, let me have some more wine. Let me, let me just try and escape. And it's just so much easier. It's harder, but it's so much easier just to face.
To face the music.
Feel it. That's right.
Yeah,
That's right.
feel it. Wow, that's so powerful. You're so right. I agree. You got to feel it, because then you can actually know that you came from this point, and then to like rise from that and see yourself down there, like it's an accomplishment for you. So
it really is. And then you can say, okay, I dealt with that.
Yes, and you can, and then you
won't come up again
with other things. Yeah.
Right. So your brain's kind of clear, like, okay, what's the next thing? Because I got
Yes.
Yeah.
I love that you taught your daughter that at a young age. That's amazing.
Yeah,
she's a strong woman. I know.
She's cool. She just started law school, and she's my hero. So.
Yeah, I know. I know you've been through some things with her in the past couple weeks. So you guys are both strong women taking care of each other.
Yeah, always.
Yeah.
My person. Yeah.
Cute. So how do you recommend for people to start feeling worthy of themselves or feeling beautiful from the inside out?
See, that's a great one as well. So I really feel that everything begins and ends with how we feel.
Mm-hmm.
And how and being aware of the thoughts that we think about ourselves. Because we all have chatter in our heads.
Yes.
We all have it. We can't get rid of it. It's like someone else in there just blah, 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 blah.
Yes.
And so it's really important to be aware of that. That's step number one. Mm-hmm. Just being aware of how do I feel? Mm-hmm. And how what are those thoughts? And most of us don't even bother like listening. I mean, it's on auto. That chatter is on auto. And if you really start being aware of it, you're like, wait, I don't think I'm that ugly. Like, what are you saying?
Mm-hmm.
And the things that we say to ourselves unconsciously, like just these, it's on auto, we would never say to our girlfriends. We would never say to our children.
Mm-hmm.
So it's being aware of, hey, listen, I don't believe that. And so I'm going to work on step one, being aware. And then there's other steps, but being aware of how I'm feeling, why I'm feeling that way, and the thoughts I'm thinking about me, because that's how I'm going to show up. If I know that I'm thinking some good thoughts and they're true because I decided to think them, then I can show up that way. Otherwise, it's on auto and
Yes. I often think that way too. Like, you wouldn't say that to your kid. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like,
exactly.
treat yourself better.
Yeah, I know, right?
Treat
Come
yourself
on.
better. Yes.
And most of us don't even know that we're saying these. It's like it's just been on auto for years that we just don't even know. It's like the beliefs that are in our heads from when we were young or from our teachers or whomever that, and it just kind of keeps replaying and replaying. And so when you finally just stop and say, okay, what is that saying to me? Because it's not true. I don't believe that. So yeah, it's just a matter of being just aware. And I think that then there's worthiness that comes out of it. Like, I'm not that.
Right.
No, stop.
Yes. Stop it.
Stop it.
Okay, I'm gonna put you on the spot here. What is one thing that we can do today, right now, to start feeling more confident?
Ooh, more confident. One thing right now.
Mm-hmm.
Well, this is kind of a similar answer, so I hate to be redundant, but I'll go a little bit deeper. But
Okay.
it's being aware and really getting control and owning your own emotions. No one's to blame. You're not hurt because of John. You're not hurt because someone said something negative about you. You're allowing that in. So one thing about confidence is you stand in your own shoes. You're in charge of you. You're in charge of how you show up. You're in charge of what you think about yourself. You're in charge of how you feel. And that's the one thing we can control is ourselves. And so if we can, and it takes practice.
Right. You're right. It does take practice.
It takes a lot of practice, but if you can, and that's where the real work lies. And that's where the true transformation happens. And that's where I come in to help you.
Yes, that's where you come in. So Steph, if our audience would like to work with you further, how can we do that?
Well, what I'm going to offer, that those that are sitting here in this wonderful summit, I am offering a 6 quick ways to have your own back right now that you can work on starting right now.
Okay, cool.
And they're quick and they're easy. But if you want a more comprehensive, like just work, then I am giving away also a free strategy call. And I would love to do some free coaching.
Okay.
For anyone that is on this summit, or if you know someone that's like, oh my gosh, he would be perfect, friends or anything like that, I'm happy to work with them, have a free call. There's no obligation, free 25 minutes.
Cool. Yes, great. Everyone, hop on a call with Steph because she can feel you. So she can feel you and help you. Yes.
I got you. Yeah.
Yes. Is there anything else that you would like to say to our audience today?
Well, I'm going to leave you guys with one little saying that I read, I don't know, years ago, that it's become like a mantra for me, that it's a reminder that I say throughout the day. So it's this: what I think and what I feel and what I get are always a match. I'll say it one more time.
Yes, please.
Okay. What I think and what I feel and what I get are always a match.
Like the law of attraction.
Absolutely.
Love it.
That thing is real. The universe.
Yes, I'm trying to get on another vibe.
That's right. That's right.
The universe can meet my frequency here. Yes. I love you. Thank you, Steph. Thank you
Oh
so
my
much.
gosh.
Thanks everyone for joining us today. We hope that you found new ways to acknowledge your worth and feel beautiful from the inside out in order for you to step into the most confident and empowered version of yourself. We'll see you next time on Beauty and Confidence Within. This is Tiffany and Steph signing out. See you guys
Thank
again.
you.
Bye. Thank you.